Robert De Niro did not walk onto live television carrying a secret file or a shocking new revelation. He arrived with something Donald Trump may hate even more: a sharp memory, perfect timing, and the patience to let the past speak for itself. The segment began with Jimmy Kimmel reading Trump's latest attack on De Niro, but what followed quickly turned into a brutal reminder that old words and public records never truly disappear.
When I hear Trump say, as he did a few days ago, I don't think about Americans' financial situation. Not even a little bit. I say, shut the f***. On Wednesday, Trump said, I love the inflation. Now say it with me. Shut the f*** up.
I would be surprised, Mike, if they haven't even started already. They have started. They blew up their sites. They blew up their testing site. So, but I will say, he knew prior to coming, this wasn't like a surprise. It wasn't like we've never discussed it. We discussed it. Mike.
This guy should not be president, period.
Why do you choose to go that way?
We are at a moment in our life, in this country, where this guy is like a gangster. He's come along and he's said things, done things we say over and over again. This is terrible. We're in a terrible situation. We're in a terrible situation. And this guy just keeps going on and on and on without being stopped.
A joke. I looked at the people. They're not representative of this country. And I looked at all the brand new signs paid for, I guess it was paid for by Soros and other radical left lunatics. It looks like it was. We're checking it out. The demonstrations were very small, very ineffective, and the people were whacked out. When you look at those people, those are not representative of the people of our country.
This guy has done everything possible, much worse than I ever thought, ever. The day after he was elected, I said, well, give him a chance. You never know, you'll see. But he's worse than I ever could have imagined.
And what is at the heart of that? What is the primary critique or complaint or objection?
He's an outright criminal, and they're still buying it.
They're still buying it. Your whole segment. You have made a movie called Ezra, directed by Tony Goldwyn, who we know and love here as our former president at ABC, Tony Goldwyn. He was the president on Scandal.
I don't know. I think he's crazy in a way. Part of him is just crazy. I mean, if it wasn't for you, CNN, MSNBC, and some other outlets, the New York Times, the Washington Post, where are we? This is a crazy world. What is going on? This guy is crazy. We've got to get him out.
When you say crazy, do you mean in a medical sense? Because that gets criticized pretty quickly.
Possibly medically, too. Shame on those Republicans that don't have the nerve, the balls to go after him. What do they tell their kids? What do they tell their grandkids later when it's written in history books what their role is and what they did, and they allowed him to do this?
Trump mocked Robert De Niro's acting, called him boring, and dismissed him as a fading celebrity desperate for attention. De Niro barely reacted. He smiled, paused, and calmly reminded the audience that insults could not erase the public record. Kimmel then shifted the focus to Trump's 2024 Manhattan criminal trial, where De Niro had warned that Trump was a danger to democracy. The case ended with Trump convicted on 34 counts of falsifying business records connected to the Stormy Daniels payment. De Niro did not need to invent a scandal. The documents, testimony, and jury verdict were already there. The contrast was clear. Trump was attacking an actor, while De Niro was pointing to convictions and years of controversy. Instead of responding with more insults, De Niro returned to the bigger issue. Democracy becomes weaker when every legal problem is treated like entertainment and every critic is labeled an enemy. When Kimmel replayed Trump's attack, it sounded much smaller the second time.
Prominent Republicans who have said they want you to take over the Iran negotiations. They trust you. They think that you will prioritize Israel's interest, and they're attacking Vice President Vance.
Who are these prominent Republicans?
Senator Xi, the Wall Street Journal opinion page. There's people.
Well, that's not Republican. That's a newspaper.
Well,
you're a troublemaker with these questions.
It leans right.
No. Look, guys, listen. Here's the bottom line. You know who the lead negotiator is? His name is Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States. That's who dictates our policy. He has a team of people that work together on this. We all have a role to play, depending on what the topic is. We have very good negotiators in Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. We have the Vice President of the United States, which is the second highest ranking official, which tells you how the importance we've given this file. Obviously, I have a role to play. The Department of War has had a role to play. That's how we approach it. This doesn't, I mean, it's a combined effort, and it always should be.
Do you wish people didn't endorse you to take over the talks yourself?
I mean, you're telling me about that, but that's not how our system works. That's not how this administration works. It starts at the top. The president is in charge, and he has a team of people that provide counsel and provide advice, but ultimately whose job it is to execute on the president's directive. We have a great team that works very well together. On that topic, we work well together on a number of topics. We work together as a team on Lebanon. We've worked together as a team on Venezuela. We've worked together as a team on the Thailand-Cambodia peace agreement that was put together. We've worked together as a team. We have a really good core team that works on foreign policy and national security. And oftentimes it's a multi-agency effort, because there's a role for Treasury to play. Sometimes there's a role for energy to play. That's how these things work. It's not one person. It's all these different elements of our government that have to work in conjunction and in concert to execute on the president's directive and on the direction that he's giving us.
What made the exchange effective was not the intensity of Robert De Niro's response, but his refusal to be pulled into Trump's style of personal confrontation. Rather than trading insults, De Niro allowed the discussion to return to verifiable facts, including Trump's legal record, public controversies, and repeated attacks on critics. This created a clear contrast between emotional provocation and documented consequences. Trump's remarks were designed to make De Niro appear irrelevant, but the strategy became weaker once Kimmel placed those insults beside courtroom evidence and a jury verdict. The moment also reflected a broader political pattern. When powerful figures face criticism, they often try to discredit the messenger instead of addressing the substance of the argument. By remaining calm, De Niro made Trump's attack seem less threatening and more defensive. The segment was therefore not simply a clash between a politician and an actor. It became a discussion about accountability, public memory, and the danger of allowing personal attacks to distract from serious political and legal questions.
He's not only a man who really wants to run for president, he's doing a bad job running a state. You can't have somebody like a J.B. Pritzker, who I understand is not president, sadly, but, some people say, never use the fat word. And I don't. I would never call anybody fat. I have my own problems. It's not like I'm perfect. Sir, in the back, don't call him a fat pig, okay? I'm sticking up for him. Don't call him you. You can't do that, sir. You can't call J.B. Pritzker a fat pig. Please. All right? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Everyone's trying to figure out, who is that guy? Does he exist? But the nice part is when you do that, the press can't get you. Because I'm defending a man who obviously has a problem. Actually, he's lost a lot of weight. I saw him recently. He lost quite a bit of weight. I don't know what the hell. He's got no chance, believe me. Anything he does, the family threw him out of the business. A number of other potential Democrat contenders sadly refused to show up tonight. We invited Elizabeth, Pocahontas, Warren,